Hello my friends. I'm going to do this letter journal and it's going to be for a swap. That's what I'm planning to do. So I have these letter envelopes, self-adhesive envelopes. I bought them at the dollar store. So they are, here's the package right here. They are 4 1/8 by 9 1/2. So 10.4 centimeters by 24.1 centimeters. Right there. So my plan is to get the journals to be around that size. Whatever size really that you can get an envelope in or into an envelope. I have the cards that I folded up with my bone folder. So however you can do it to get kind of a folding effect. This is the whole, my whole cardstock card there. And so the idea of this swap would be not to make it too thick because we want to mail it, and some of our people that we swap with are all the way in Australia, you know, all over the UK, and Canada, and the United States, and, you know, vice versa everywhere. And so we want to make it as easily to swap and enjoy each other's art as possible. For this particular one, I'm going to use these tickets on the page just for the heck of it. So I'm going to tear up some of these tickets, and I've never done this before. I'm just playing with it because, I don't know, I feel like using tickets today and trying not to use too much paint. I mean, paper is heavy, but paint is heavy as well, so we'll see how it goes. So I'm just going to grab my tickets and put them on here. And try to figure out what I want to do with that. So I want to put them up and down. So you can just, I'm just doing what I want to do. You guys do what you want to do, and I'm just playing with however, the way I want to play with these. So I'm just getting my color in like this, doing something a little different. That's all. So I don't know how I'm going to stick them on, so I'm just going to play now. Just go for it. So I'm going to grab my Mod Podge. And it's at the end of the barrel here again, so it's going to be sticky. And there's a hair in there because I always lose my hair. And I just, like I said, there's no reason for me to do it this way. I just want to try it. I have tons of tickets. Just want to try it. And to have one of these in the envelope, I mean, I do have room for a little thickness, so it's not going to be an issue. So I'm just not going to go on my crease, so I'm overlapping a bit. I could even, maybe even, no, that would have been too thin. Single file. Whatever goes. You could use magazine paper, whatever. I'm just using the ticket paper, just because. And I think I'm going to make this another summery theme. So, I think I'm going to add flowers to it, to this, or springy theme. So I think I'm going to add flowers to it. And some of them are right side up, and that one's right upside down, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Maybe it will bug me. Why? I'm not sure. Almost did it again. So now I'm just going to Mod Podge them over. So I'm just using like an off-white cream cardstock. You guys can use whatever you want if you have folders, file folders, or anything like that to recycle. I just decided that I wanted to start off with that myself, that's all. So and now I'm just going to put Mod Podge all over the top. I don't know if I have any masking tape to do the centers. I might just, don't know, like the edges here, creases, I'm going to leave them a little open here. Might be a little too open, but we'll see how it works out. Now I have my background color, and that's kind of like, instead of paint, I just wanted to do something different. So yeah, that's where I was going with that. So I'm going to dry that up. So this is it, and I'm just going to grab some cream and gold and put it on there. And I think that the theme of this should be something you miss. And I'm just kind of pulling it out of a hat. And I miss summer and spring. So if you guys miss somebody or a pet or whatever, just something you miss. So that's what I'm doing, is that's where I'm kind of digging from in my head. So I'm going to add some paint to the side here. Or should I just grab, I don't think I have anything to hold my paint right now available. So I'm just going to grab some paint on the side here. And it's very thick, so I'm going through all this thick paint, acrylic paint someone found and kept themselves for a long time and then decided to give it away. So now I'm just using my card to get some paint across. I already have one background picture paper color, which is the yellow, which is a nice, sunny, happy color. And I got lots to trim off here too, so probably I'm going to trim it after though, just so then I get right to the edges really nice. I think that would suit me. So yeah, I want to get a nice background base happening here. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to put in here yet, but it's got to be kind of flat and so I could ship it. And kids keep coming into my craft room. So I shake up my gold. I'm going to kind of splatter it because it does come out really nice and runny. I like using these combination of colors. As you probably can see, I use them in a lot of things. Of course, I might have it a little covered here, but I could go back and wipe some of it up. I don't know. I'm going to scrape hard to try to get some of the color up so you could see the ticket. And pull some of it to the side here. A lot of this stuff is going to get cut off on the side. So, there. You can see that I got a lot of edge to cut. I'm going to dry that up. I let it dry. I'm going to just cut the edges off that are overlapping. And I'm seeing in my head a white picket fence. So, I think I have some spare picket fences that I cut out. So I'm going to have to go check an envelope before I cut some more out. And then I could cut some out if I don't have any, but you gotta check to see. I like to check to see, make sure I'm not over, have too much of stuff kind of sitting around. Kids just keep walking in. So that is it so far. Interesting. So the paint in the corners are pretty thick. They just kind of bubbled up, but that's okay. Or came up. So now I'm going to go check if I have any fence. It looks like I have at least one picket fence, and I might just use that in my piece. I've decided that I'm going to use my stencil to do the flowers. I'm going to see how well this kind of turns out on this paint. So I've got yellow as a background already. I'm not going to use yellow. I should find my orange. Do my orange. And then I'm going to dry that up. And this is going to be like a layer to layer of color here, so I'm just going to be stopping the video to be drying them. So on this side here, I'm doing the red now. I just have my brayer, and I'm flipping my card over to my next letter thing that I'm doing. So then it's going to get piled up with paint. Just thought I'd give you a heads up on that, and keep going. I'm using my purple now. You hear me braying on the side here. And I'm just going to dry this. And blue. And the paint is resisting quite a bit of the alcohol spray. So if I used gesso, it would have been better. But that's okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit more. I'm going to add my inks. This is only orange. I'm just going to add them directly to my page now, just to add a little bit, because I have the background to it, but the flowers are not standing out quite as much as I want, so I'm just going to add some of these. And yeah, it's going to look good. I'm going to add the Taken with Teal, and I'm going to add the purple as well. And that one might be used and pretty dry, the Taken with Teal. We'll see. Has a little bit of oomph in there. I'm shaking my table up, but the video's up on the second table, so it should be fine. Here's my purple. Okay, anyway. So, a little bit more purple. I like the purple. And could also add like watercolor crayons or whatever. I'm just doing what, I don't know, this. I decided that that's where I wanted to go with it. This orange is really nice and yummy too. Oh yeah, the Taken of Teal is showing up really nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple pieces like this, because this is what's going to go behind the fence. I think I'm going to put it over here. And this is how it's looking. Isn't that cute? So that's a nice different look. I think I'm gonna grab my honeycomb stencil and start putting some of that in there in black. Just honeycomb, bees, flowers. I don't know, it goes for me. So I'm going to do that. I like the way that kind of feels like it's going to come together. So, this is something I miss. I miss spring and summer, warm weather, going outside with just a cardigan on, and yeah. Plants and the kids playing in water, the kids playing in the water. I don't like the water myself per se, but yeah, kids playing in water, miss that, all that kind of stuff. Camping, fun summer stuff, campfire, missed fires outside, sitting and reading a book in a hammock, all that kind of stuff. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. All those things I miss. Oops, I've got to put it a little higher so I'm on the edge. But yeah. Those are some of the things. Oh, that is coming together really lovely. I love it, I love it, I love it. And this is just kind of like a plain, to me, but not over plain. It's just like easy journaling. You're not going to go crazy. You don't have plans and layering it up. I love layers, but we gotta remember what we're doing here is making it as beautiful as we can with less layers and more visual layers with what you can do with paint and that kind of thing. So that is so pretty. I'm glad I bought this stamp. I'm glad. I only bought like 3, I think, stamps. They're so expensive. They're almost like $6. I think they're $6 or a little over for that little square. But you know what? Looking at it like that, it's really worth it. I'm going to paint this. You know what? I'm going to use my other journal as a drop paper to paint it. So I'm going to paint it or something. My fence, so it's not pure white. This thick, goopy paint. If it comes out. Woo. So, might have to start storing it upside down. I'm just going to do it with my fingers, I think. I have ink and everything all over my fingers, but that'll be half the uniqueness of this whole thing. So I'm just going over very generously over it, and getting hair in my work. But that's going to be some texture in the background there, so that's good. It's going to give it a good rustic paint job too. Make it look more realistic, like it's worn. I got my fingerprints in there. But that's okay. Now I have stamps, and I'm just going to kind of go see what I'm going to experiment with it. I'm going to have to wash this after, but I'm going to kind of dab it a little bit with ink and see if this works. I don't want too thick with ink. And I know you're like, what is she doing to her ink pad? But I'm going to wash that right away. Throw that in the sink. So I'm going to put some alcohol on it right now. I have moisturizer for my stamps, but I don't know, I just felt like doing that just now. So there's texture for my next one. And I'm going to dry that off. And that's about that. Just because I can, I'm going to be putting my little nail, oh, it got too thick for my nail holes. It might be better off black. I was thinking that maybe. Brown, but just because the rust and whatnot. Do I want to highlight it? I'll just do it in black. So I'm just going to go over the edges. I might go over the nail holes in a little black too. And this is my fence so far. I'm not being very gentle with it either. The paint's making it really strong though, and it's still a little bit on the damp side. Just getting all the edges here. Aging it up a bit. And yeah, that is that. Looking good. So that's something that's going to go right there. And I'm not sure if I'm going to add more flowers or not, but we'll see. I don't want it too thick. This is why it's really, you know, I really like it thin. So I have it just where the stake is right over here, so the bend will be right in that part of the fence, which will work good. I'm just going to get where it's not lifting up and it's going to totally fold. Perhaps I'm going to split it. That would be the best thing to do. Split my fence and not have it attached. It's generally not great to have anything attached across things like this. Just doesn't work well. Because it moves the thing. So I'm going to cut these a little shorter here because it's going right over the edge and still moving the paper. Perfect. there we go. It's looking good. So as I sit here and think about what I want to add to it, I'm just going to play with the fence a bit. With my thing. And I don't know. So I think that is where I'm going with that. Now I'm just going to have to put some kind of wording on there. And now I'm just going to add the sentiment, which is smell the flowers. And after that I might doodle, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to add anything else. So that's what I'm going to write. I love this stamp set. I don't use it all that often, but I do like it. It's because you can't have it exact, and I think that's sometimes why I don't use it as much, but I like it anyways. Smell the flowers. And I'm just doing the flowers down. W E. Gotta make sure I get lots of ink on them. S. Smell the flowers. And that's about it on my add doodles and all that kind of stuff, but I guess that'll be a surprise to whomever gets it. It'll be a little bit different. Thanks guys. I will talk to you later. Bye bye.